Hello, welcome back guys, and today we are moving along with our story of Steinsgate 0. So, last episode, we got some quite emotional developments, right? Most particularly between Mayuri and Okabe, and how she's, most particularly how Mayuri kind of knows the half-truth right now, I guess you could say, or no, well, basically the truth, right? And so now the ball is back in Okabe's court, right? How exactly is he going to react to this situation? Is he going to, change his mind? It's really up to Okabe right now. And as for the rest, well, we still got tons of stuff that's out there, right? We still got Kaguri there. We still got Suzuha, whatever she's going to do and whatnot. And well, I don't know. It all really depends on Okabe's next actions. So let's just get into the episode right now. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Lovely, my daughter. Oh, a tracker of some sort? She's out of time, right? So she needs to go. Yeah, she's going. Yeah, sadly you don't belong here, Suzuha. Oh, is that Mayuri? Yeah, it is. Well, Ruka doesn't. Oh. No. Alright. Things are about to get interesting. Alright, let me skip this real quick. I'll see you guys in a second. And back. This is the next day, right? Yeah, you're going to. No, you just want to know what happened to Carissa. Yes. I mean, the logical conclusion would be that. Anyways. If there's two, why can't there be more, right? Oh. So that's what she's been thinking all this time. If she succeeds, you're not going to feel a thing. Hmm? A signal? That was a pretty heartbreaking scene, I gotta admit. What? Solaris neighbor? What? How can you say with certainty that it was Marius Kurisu that did this? It was an insider job. Oh. How is this gonna work, though? Mm. It has to be Mayuri. That convinces him. What? Oh, so it's like a conditional mail. That. Arclight. Now, which country's forces are these? Is this from? Ooh. Ooh. Wait, seriously? Okay, this is... I'm sorry, but this is a little bit ridiculous. What? Okay, I'm completely at a loss as to how this is going to continue forward. Well, let's think about it, right? I'll see you guys in a second. Alrighty, so that was quite a lot of stuff to swallow all of a sudden. And let's try to go through some of the things that happen here, right? Although honestly, it's becoming very confusing, and the story is just jumping all over the place all of a sudden. But let's start with the easy stuff, right? Or the relatively easy stuff. So again, the scene with Mayuri here, her breakdown, that was absolutely heartbreaking, and more than anything else, I feel for I feel for Mayuri in this scene as well as Suzuha as well, right? Suzuha, I've mentioned before. She is in this very unique spot where even though her current more grown-up self is interacting with these these other people as sort of these other main characters as sort of their peers and whatnot. That's not what she's supposed to do, right? In the ideal scenario, she's not going to know these people until very later on into the future, and it's not the same kind of relationship, right? It could also be a loving relationship as well, but it's not really the same thing. She's not going to be their comrades, and so on and so forth, right? So I feel for Suzuha in the things that she needs to go over, in regards to parents, or in regards to her role in this entire thing. Mayuri, on the other hand, she also faces a real consequence as well. If we go to the, the true ending or the true happy ending, whatever you want to call it, that's that, right? Everything, all the sadness that she feels from her breakdown in this episode is still going to continue on. She's never going to be the Orihime-sama to Okabe, right? Okabe is destined in this true ending to be together with Kurisu. So, that's also something that's irreversible. And, right, she has priority. She would much rather give up on her own love, and instead bring back the Okabe of old, the Kyoma, Hoin Kyoma. But still, that is something that can never be achieved anymore in that timeline, right? So I'm not gonna lie, that was heartbreaking. More than anything else, I know I've had some discussion with some of you guys here in regards to the sad scenes in the original series, and here I really couldn't, like, for instance, at the very end here when Mayuri died, like, I couldn't really care less, since I know that they're just going to eventually bring her back anyways. So that's just how I operate, right? It's not the thing that's happening on the screen that's going to affect me, but the actual real consequences of these actions. So that was, even though, I mean, I rarely cry, but that was a sad scene. And so with all that being said, though, there's a lot of things that's happened here that really I'm just like going question mark, right? So first of all, the part where they say that this organization or whatnot has managed to crack into Amadeus Kurisu and extract her memories and whatnot, right? And so far, my guess is still going to be on the the people on the professor side, Professor Alexis. He's probably the one behind this and all that. So it's not really cracked, but it's a insider job, right? Still though, like, I don't really get that the dialogue there where they said cracking her memory would allow them to know that there is a working time machine in existence, right? Like, how does any of that work? Amadeus Kurisu, the memories that she has, never, she doesn't even know of Okabe, right? Much less everything else that's going to happen. At the very best, I guess you could say that maybe gaining access to her knowledge allows them to maybe make a time machine of their own, but how in the world would they be able to know that there is a time machine in this world right now and somebody has come from the future, right? Like, that doesn't really make any sense to me, how that would work. And on, going on with this thread of Amadeus Kurisu, why is she posting on a random internet discussion board, giving these random hints and whatnot, right? If you're going to take down the communication network or whatnot, do that. What's the purpose of posting these hidden messages or whatnot? And it's not even a hidden message, right? It's like being written in a poetic way or something. Like, why is that posted onto the net? Like, what? Is that supposed to, help them in a sort of way as a hint to what's actually going on? But that doesn't really make sense at all as well. So I don't know, that thing just, that entire discussion board thing just seemed completely out of nowhere and completely random, right? So, mostly my question is in regards to Amadeus Kurisu for this episode. It doesn't, I can't really make a sense out of it. And of course, the ending there, the fighting scene with Suzuha was just ridiculous. She's being surrounded by, like, what, 30, those look like soldiers, or at the very least trained mercenaries, right? And you're telling me that I don't know, that entire scene was just completely ridiculous, right? She's literally running in nearly point blank range against 20, 30 armed soldiers, and they're not even hitting her once, right? I mean, sure, at the very end there, Mayuri was hit, but they should have been dead in less than a second, all right, if they really wanted to be, if the bad guys really wanted them dead. So that part was completely ridiculous as well. And I don't know, it just seems kind of out of place in a Steins Gate series. I don't know if you guys have the same thought as me, but with all the, even with all these sort of fantasy and not fantasy, sci-fi elements that's going on with time travel and whatnot, at least the people there seem to be still normal people, right? Suzuha is literally a superhuman, or in this kind of scenario. So yeah, I didn't really like how they made that fight scene that way. And so one other thing to note of before we go into predictions is that we do see at the end there that there were two women in bodysuits, and one had obviously killed or incapacitated another one of them, right? And so the one remaining one is probably the one that walked up to Mayuri at the very end there. So is that actually Karisu, and is that actually on the side of the enemy or on the side of our protagonist? That's actually not all that clear to me, right? And I really don't have I don't really have a grasp of this right now. The story is getting, I don't really have any good predictions right now, right? So I can't really tell, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was two different Kurisus, or maybe one was Kurisu and one was the other female professor or whatnot. And it could be a possibility that this character that just came onto the scene next to Mayuri, she might be the one who helps them and drives the story forward, right? So that's also a possibility. So yeah, so let's actually talk about the predictions here, right? Because there's really not much to go on. Like I said, I'm getting really confused in regards to the entire Amadeus Karisu story, and also with the okay, actually, I should be talking about Kagari. Sorry. The entire part with the bodysuit, I was talking about Kagari, not Kurisu. Sorry, I got the names mixed up. So the bodysuits, I believe one is Kagari, and maybe they're actually going to be on the side of our protagonist. But anyways, back to the prediction part. So with all that being said, really the only thing I have right now is this thing in the back of my mind, which is the original Steins Gate story, right? Where back in episode 23, Okabe got back on his feet because he received a mail from his future self that told him what to do, right? So under the context of the series, with the rules of the series so far, this still needs to happen at least once, right? So how is this actually going to happen? Now, as morbid as it may be, my first instinct right now is that Mayuri needed to die here, right? She needed to die so that Okabe can work and be motivated to work on time machines and whatnot, so that he can eventually revert this in the future, right? He would be finally convinced to convince his past self back in episode 23, back a year ago, to further pursue the Steins Gate world line, right? So as more, it's kind of morbid, right? How Mayuri needs to die, and then Okabe and the others need to suffer for like what, 10-15 years more before they can eventually revert it. But I'm just thinking that would make well, actually, would that make sense? Because there would exist a future Mayuri as well, right? No, actually, no. Would there? Okay, but anyway, I don't want to think about this too much, because I feel like it's not something that I can actually get an adequate answer here. But that's one of my first instincts, right? Which is it could be this kind of situation. And then of course the other thing here is that, don't forget, we do have a working working question mark D-mail in place here, courtesy of Maho and Daru. So it's also a possibility that that can be used by Okabe as well, to sort of try and revert the current situation, as we see here with Mayuri being being shot to death 1 year after the fated day, right? So those are my only two theories that I have right now and predictions right now that that could be possible going forward. The rest, I don't really have a clue. So yeah, there we go. That was episode 17 of Steins Gate 0. I'll see you guys next week. Although I might, because I am going to be on a business trip next week, potentially the next episode will be delayed by up to a week as well. So I apologize in advance, but I'm not really sure if I have enough time to pre-record some episodes for next week. So it's a possibility that I'm just going to skip a week. And if that happens, well, such is life. So anyways, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.